My name's Lucia. I now work at Save the Children, as you said, making content for them. So I started working my career working in television and documentaries in quite a long time ago now. So slightly hard to think about what year it was. After I graduated, anyway, I got a job in a TV production company making watching and developing documentaries, and then working on in production on music documentaries with them, and that was super interesting. But actually, there comes a point in anybody's career when they're starting, they get itchy feet, they want to move on and make their own content and their own films. And for me, I went freelance and was working in a number of different projects, and then started to make my own films. Circularity Thinking I co-directed and co-produced with Roses Urquhart, who is it's the only film we've made together, but we're still friends. We were had met and developed the project together based on a cabaret show that she was doing at the time, and I don't know if you're speaking to her separately. And so Roses can tell you about her route, but my route was through making through the kind of much more classic film TV production route. And we made the film. We managed to get, we had an away day to develop the idea. The whole idea was based on a parody of corporate videos, which at the time were quite long and indulgent. And we had put money together for our funding. We bought money on occasional on lottery tickets, and had won £10, or £20, which we just decided to spend on away day. And again, we're using all the jargon. We developed the script, and we applied for some funding, and we got some funding to make the film, and then submitted to film festivals, which, as you know, is a whole other strategy in itself. But it was really great to actually get the film into some international film festivals, including ECU, and it was really amazing to come to Paris and come to the festival. And at the time, I think video delivery was still on DVD. It was just everything was a bit different from what it was now, so things moved quite quickly. And then since then, around that time, I also had found there's a staff job that was really interesting for me as multimedia producer, working on international stories that Save the Children. So for me, I'd always been interested in factual stories of any type, so telling marginalised voices. You might not know that from hula hooping, although hula hooping is quite marginalised, as a sport or an athletic sport, but absolutely interested in those stories from Save the Children, and was lucky enough to get this job that I'm actually still working for the organisation, but for Save the Children International, not just working in film, but also photo, and working with designers and illustrators, commissioning, and also producing content in lots of different formats. Well, it was a satire on corporate videos. We realised that we met as administrative temps working in quite a corporate environment. So we developed the language between ourselves. We often would joke about it in our lunch breaks, and we thought it was a really good topic for parody. Really, corporate videos, very self-satisfied and full of themselves, and why not combine. Make it a bit more interesting and fun with working with some excellent hula hooping talent who Roses knew, and we waited for many months to get the date where all the hula hoopers, the talent, were available off. Some of them were touring internationally at the time, so it was great to be able to get them in place and to borrow a lot of favours despite the small amount of funding we had from the London Borough Film Fund at the time. So Yeah, I remember we had some really great canapes, some delicious canapes. It was nice to have it felt like it was not a huge budget in the film festival, but it was nice to have a good welcome and to feel like, we had an international screening of our film was really nice. I don't think there were that many people in the audience. I think there were some projection challenges, and it wasn't necessarily the smoothest screening, but it was still nice to be invited and to be able to take part with other filmmakers as well. So I'm making content all the time. I'm collaborating with colleagues all over the world, and I'm also sharing. I do regular peer mentoring with colleagues who work for my organisation. So colleagues in over 80 countries I work with quite regularly, some more than others, and have many projects on the go at the moment, including, obviously a lot of work now is digital first, so the audience are specifically for many of our things, if they're not for fundraising, they're for support engagement. So one of the most successful projects I worked on recently was working with an illustrator and a designer, a series of what to do when, how to help children in either with their mental health or in emergency situations. And this is a series that's not moving. It's static images, so illustrations, and a series of carousels which have been particularly popular on LinkedIn. So what's different is that the audience is now responding to different content on different channels. I mean, there's always, stories are always more powerful with visuals, but the text is important too. So for an image, or you still need the context. It's essential. I mean, I didn't realise until I did realise, but captions on images or context on videos is as essential as ever, if not more. Now with the advancement of AI and different means of storytelling, and the way that images can be shared so quickly, whether that's moving images or still images. So no one thing stands alone. Obviously, adding an image to a story will always help it literally bring it to life for people. It will help build empathy in a way that writing can do as well. But sometimes particularly with the types of stories that I work on, which is children's voices, it's much easier to build empathy when you hear a child saying something in their own words. So helping build empathy with audiences is really essential, and that's different medium for different messages, but absolutely that power of narrative is always as important as ever. Yes, absolutely. Just go for it. Just don't let your don't let your worries about whether your content is, whether you're good enough, hold you back. Just you don't know what other people are going to be submitting. Your idea could be more powerful and provoke more of a reaction than another piece of content. If you're submitting to film festivals, you have no idea what the jury are looking for. So try and find the festivals. It's always really difficult, and I haven't been submitting content for festivals for a really, really long time now, but I think if you make the story that you believe in and the story that you feel is right to tell, there will be an audience out there. So do the best you can, and don't give up hope.